of problems in terms of logistics and things which couldn't get delivered due to delays because of Corona. Not all of that is related to Corona, of course, but when it comes to a challenge, we sometimes also forget to talk about the success we had. We tend to not show our success because of these challenges. And I think everyone of you out there in the field, all of our members should be very proud on what you have achieved in this last year, 2020. A couple of things to share. We sold over 100,000 Heelys and helped by that many, many more than 100,000 to really help improve their life, making it better in so many different ways. From a health standpoint, from well-being, from making a difference, from an opportunity given, from additional income. So many ways we can touch lives of people out there. We have provided a business opportunity which you can do your business in 45 countries around the world. And of course, this came with additional challenges. But I think, today in a global world, having this broad opportunity from the beginning was a big asset to us. And, when we're looking at the US specifically, we opened by May 1st in the middle or in the beginning of the pandemic. And I had this discussion with a lot of our US leaders and members, and I always ask, do you think it was good to open? Should we have waited? And so forth. And a lot of people said, it was good we opened. Yeah, we didn't have the possibility to do road shows and all the things we're usually doing when we open a market. But, we're looking at 9 months later, we're still in a pandemic situation. And I think looking back with the challenges coming with that, opening in a situation like this, I think it was good. We have a strong business in the US. The US has become our biggest and most important market. But we also advance in a lot of different areas. We added so many human resources to the company, and not only human resources, but knowledge and hands and legs and brains and everything which you need to improve the things which are probably not yet 100%. And I also know that it's sometimes difficult to be proud and to show this as well for the achievements we have made when you face those challenges. But I think, all of you can be proud of what you have achieved, what you have done for Heely as a company, for Heely as a device. And we're working full speed to remove all the challenges and obstacles in the way to give you an opportunity which is, I think, unparalleled in the MLM industry. When we're looking at everything we're doing and all the different kind of projects, which is developing a state-of-the-art back office with top leading companies out of this industry to give you really a back office that when you open, your eyes sparkle, that you can go in and explore all the possibilities you have in a new back office. And besides a lot of other new projects, I want to talk a little bit about technology. And technology, as you all know, progresses nowadays really so fast, giving you almost daily new opportunities and new possibilities of what you can do. And Marcus and Christian will also talk about a little bit in that regard in a short while. But while we are actually talking, we're improving also in our product area. When I talk about product, I mean also our technical platforms where our applications run on and also forth. And so we are programming actually all our platforms, all the applications we have from the different applications from Heely for the Heely Watch, Heel Advisor application, and so forth, onto a new technology platform to improve stability and endurance and workability of the applications. And, for all those of you who have our Heel Advisor application and the Healy Advisor Search and so forth, you might already realize that there is a difference in platform and its ability, because this platform does not really produce other errors and mistakes than maybe the other platforms do. And this is due to a very simple reason, because the Healy Advisor application with the Healy Advisor Search and so on is already running on our new technology platform, where we are programming all the other platforms onto in the next couple of months. Really, to, as I said, to give better stability and make it easier for you to handle the product. In order to bridge that time until all the applications are reprogrammed on a different platform, we're also finishing the programming of an analytical tool we have built in our Healy application, which a lot of you refer to as our Pink app, and our Healy Advisor Analyze app, which you like to refer to as our Blue Dot app. So we are in the final stages of programming an analytical tool inside, so that we know immediately if there's a malfunction, is it an error or bug. So in order to be able to fix that immediately, so that you hopefully not even notice that there was a bug. Right now, it's a little bit different, if you encounter any problems or have let's say an error in the platforms, you usually report to us and we fix it. With this analytical tool, we're able to fix it, hopefully even before you notice that there was a problem. So, as I said, and I hope you already saw the progress in the last couple of weeks and months, and some small issues, but not so insignificant. We actually, when it comes to the Healy Advisor Analyze app, you have the master key, and once you lost your master key, you had to go through support and get a new master key. So right now, you can already create a new master key by yourself, or when you have a Healy which is not activated, you can activate it through the back office yourself, or a lot of other little changes we have made on the way to improve the performance and make it easier for you at the end of the day. But when I think about this, this is really, I would say, technicality or details. I know details which hurt sometimes, but it's technicality and details. So I want to talk a little bit about vision and about culture. And I know you all know Marcus's and Christian's vision for the company to bring Healy to 100,000 households and to have an impact on the world in the next couple of years. And I think I truly believe we have the best opportunity in the world. And that's simply to the fact that I think we have the best product in the world. We have the true potential to become a unicorn company, one of these very, very few companies who have the potential to grow over that $1 billion mark and become a $1 billion company. But to achieve this, I agree, we need to make some improvements, and it will take a certain amount of time to get there, but we have that potential, and this is so important. But to achieve this goal, let's say, of $1 billion company and beyond, we also need to have a certain culture. We need to start thinking a little bit beyond of each of us as individuals. And when I say us, I'm not referring to us as a company or I'm referring to really all of us, the company, the leaders, the members, everybody who is involved with Healy is us. It's our Healy family. And it is not one leader against the other, or one organization against the other, or leaders against the company, or the company against the field. It's not about that. We're one family in Healy World. And this is what we always try to live from the beginning when we started over 2 years ago. For example, we always wanted to do meetings which are open for everybody, no matter if it's your sideline, your downline. We always try to encourage the members in the field to look over your own area and be open for others to come in. And this has worked pretty well. I think other companies have that much more problems with that. For us, usually most of the meetings, Zoom meetings, are open for all of them, for all of us, no matter where you come from. And the next step is to take this a little further. We will soon start with our worldwide opportunity meetings. So we have worked, and I mean the leaders, the company all together, to establish a system where we have certain leaders responsible for every country to run this opportunity meeting, so that we have a specific time every week, always the same time. We will have in all of our open countries an opportunity meeting where you can send your people to, because I don't know how many times you might have heard somebody asking you, saying, I know I live in the US, but I have a member in Australia or a member in Germany. Do you know any meetings going on? Where can I send this person to? And all of that. And by starting this global, worldwide, unified opportunity meeting schedule and system together, all of our leaders, no matter where you come from, no matter what downline you have, I think it is exactly what we need. And this is only if we work together as a family. We all have the same interest. We all have the same goal and vision, where we want to go and where we want to be. And but also to create this unicorn culture, one other step is very important, which is culture. And when you think about yourself, and me included, we need to leave this headspace where we sometimes fall into about, or speaking about, is do me. What do I get out of it? What is in it for me? And really, don't get me wrong, your rewards and your interest is important, because you're building your own business and you should be the driver for your business, and so forth. I just say, sometimes look beyond that, look beyond you and your business, and help another member. If he's struggling, help him with some advice. Look beyond you, look to engage, to help them in one or the other way. Looking around to see your family and friends, give a helping hand to the community around you, or do something good in a social project. We are all here, I think, because we want to make a difference in the world, and I think with the Healy and this opportunity, we have the unique chance to do so. But really, it starts at your doorstep, of course, with your business and so forth, but it starts with you. It starts bringing the Healy to the world, and it also starts with you giving back and creating a culture with hopefully is and will become much, much bigger than we are, and I mean all of us as individuals. So we are working on our vision, mission, and value proposition to be able to show you also in black and white what the vision is, how we can do more for everybody around us as well. And we have, of course, our founders with us, probably the two guys who created all this, who created the vision, who created the product, who said this is something we need to bring to the world. And so I'm very glad they're here with us today. So we will start with Marcus, but I want to welcome both of you, Marcus Schmieke and Christian Halper, of course, our founders of Healy World. So let's start with Marcus. So welcome, Marcus, to our Frequency Friday in the US today. Hi, Marcus.
Hi, Frank. Thank you very much for this nice introduction.
Thank you, Marcus, for being with us today. And 2 years have passed. God, it's so many memories when I think back, and we have done so much for Healy as a company, with them building a business here together, and you have done a lot of research and background, and we're ongoing in so many things in that area, because I think Frequency have become, and also because of us, of Healy, what we have did, more important, more focused, and more visible to a lot of people in the world. But I know that also in the scientific world, because we are still emerging science in a way. But I know that also in the scientific circles, frequency is discussed on so many levels in so many countries. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you're up to all day with the stack of papers I usually see in your office with studies and scientific background work.
Yes, thank you for this question, Frank. It's you're referring more to my daily work, which I try to really focus on. But I would also like to little reflect back on the last year, which was actually an amazing year, because I'm also looking little like on Healy World, like you members are doing from outside, but from the other side. And what I've seen is a company growing from 50 employees to more than 200. And that's really wonderful to see that there are more and more people communicating, working together on this amazing project, and all of them dedicating almost their heart and body and mind to this project, and that there is so much progress seen. And therefore I'm so optimistic for the next year, because I know what all these people are able to do together with you out there, that we can really fulfill the promise with which Healy started. And Healy is so promising as the principle behind Healy, and also the technology is so universal. I cannot imagine something more universal than frequency, because, and this is what really inspires me, that even the scientific community is discovering more and more the importance not only of frequency, but also of the frequencies, but also of the underlying level of reality, which we call, or which I like to call, the information field. And these two terms, like frequencies and the information field, are really the basis of what we are doing. I spent a lot of time in the last months to go very deeply into the work of one physicist who I have already studied when I was a student at university studying physics. Is David Bohm. This is a book, very famous book by him, The Undivided Universe, by David Bohm and Hailey. And it's describing a very appropriate way to see reality. And David Bohm introduced the concept of the implicit order. Implicit order means we observe an explicit order and we describe it in physical terms, like elementary particles, atoms, molecules, and chemical substances, and biological organisms, which we can see, which we can touch, which we can measure with our devices. But he said that behind there, and this is the core of his model, which was a favorite of Einstein, of Albert Einstein, to overcome the contradictions of quantum theory, the paradoxes of quantum physics. So this concept of him is that behind this explicit order, there's an implicit order which cannot be measured, which cannot be touched, which is not of the nature of physical reality of fields, but what is of the nature of pure information. So therefore, David Bohm called it information or information field, and he introduced a very interesting concept, which is very important regarding to information. He said information can be active and not active. And we are talking about active information. Active information is activated by its meaning. For example, I have many books here in my shelves, but as long as they're standing in themselves, in the shelf, they are not active information, because the information within it is not decoded and it's not put into action. It doesn't unfold its meaning. It takes me to take out a book like this one and read it, and immediately when I read it, the information is activated, and I start to think about it, and then I take my phone and phone someone and ask, is this really true? And let's make a project out of it. So information needs to be activated. It needs to be at the right place and in the right conditions. So this is the implicit order is an information field, and it's activated by what David Bohm called pilot waves. So pilot waves, which are actually coming from this implicit order, from the information field, and which are guiding the particles out there, the elementary particles, the trajectories of atoms in this world, how they are moving. The movement is informed by the implicit order. Therefore, because it puts things in a form, into a shape, it's called information. So active information is activated, and it's communicated by these pilot waves, which have certain frequencies. So the frequency spectrum of these pilot waves is very important. So in this picture imagine there's an implicit order behind, which is invisible, but it unfolds through frequencies, through waves, into an explicit order of physical reality. This is a very simple, wonderful picture for which David Bohm developed a mathematics which is recognized to be equivalent to the quantum theory which was developed by Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg. So what our idea about how reality functions with an underlying information field and frequencies which activate this information into a physical reality is not far away. It's actually very close to some extremely important scientific theories which have been developed since the 1930s. I have just, in the last days, I had a little time pressure because I think tonight at 2:00 a.m. in the morning, I finally submitted a paper about information field and David Bohm's theory for a university-published journal, the International Interdisciplinary Journal, where it will be published. And so that's really something I was focusing about in the last months. I have written a lot about it, and soon you can also read the things after they are published. And another amazing development, which I was working on and working with in the last months, is the realization of a mathematical pattern of harmonic frequencies, which has been discovered by a group of scientists, mainly from the Netherlands, small country, but has a big effect in our network, and also in scientific discoveries. There are very good scientists from the Netherlands, and two of them, two professors, Giesing and Meyer, they have found this mathematical key to calculate the harmonic frequencies of the underlying information field. And I have checked this with a frequency matrix which we have developed, and saw that most of the frequencies which we have in our own frequency matrix are actually harmonic coherent frequencies according to these formulas. And this group of researchers have looked at more than 500 studies from all kinds of fields of biology, of chemistry and medicine, and so many different fields, and found that the frequencies which have been looked at this research fits to this simple mathematical musical formula which describes the harmonic frequencies underlying, you can say, the universe, underlying matter and underlying life. I find it so amazing that this type of emerging science becomes so concrete to develop mathematics to distinguish between harmonic and unharmonic frequencies, and to actually confirm this by scientific research. Something which I found really interesting is that if you look at the environment in which life came about, it's pure water, it's clay, it's all these natural substances, that they have a spectrum, and spectrum means lines of frequencies, for example, in the infrared spectrum, but also in the visible spectrum of light and below. and that the main frequencies of this are all harmonic frequencies which support the coherence of life. So it's a nice picture, isn't it, to imagine that life is created in an environment of harmonic frequencies. And this is not only applicable to the process of evolution or how life came about, but to us. If we start to grow as a one cellular living entity, and then it divides, there are 2 and 4 and 16 and even more, until now billions of cells, this process happened in a natural environment of harmonic frequencies, somehow building the informational basis of life. And so in this context, I consider the Healy to be something like a repeater. I learned that if the Wi-Fi connection in my office is too weak, I need a repeater which actually amplifies the 2.45 gigahertz frequency of the Wi-Fi net, and then I have good internet connection on my computer here. So this is, for this one needs a repeater. It's an amplifier of the waves which transfers information. In the same way, if you look at the spectrum of water or clay, this is ultra weak, low-level energy spectrums. And one can imagine the Healy to be an amplifier, a repeater for this natural harmonic frequencies, which are so important for the coherence of life. And then, I mean, this sounds a little abstract. It's a very cutting-edge, emerging research. So, but that's not only my only business. I'm then sitting down and thinking, how can I put this amazing, for me really amazing, mind-blowing discoveries into the praxis, into something concrete, which will help our Healy users. And something very practical comes out, like always, and something which I would like to announce here is that we have created a new program, a new Healy program called Coherence. Originally, the working title was Universal Love, because I think coherence and love is something very closely connected. But coherence is a transdisciplinary term for balance and good communication and acting as a unit, as a wholeness. So we have taken the most important harmonic frequencies according to this mathematical musical key of Pythagoras, which I have talked about, and selected the harmonic frequencies from 0.1 hertz to 1 megahertz. This is exactly the spectrum in which Healy works. And we have put it together to one Healy program called Coherence, with its 216 frequencies. But this doesn't mean that if you take your Healy and you start it and you apply it to if you use this program, but of course, again, like in all the other Healy programs, or most of them, the actual frequencies which are applied in this moment when you use it will always be analyzed and chosen through the physical noise generator, which is inside the Healy. So we again ask the information field to find that frequency which Healy shall amplify for you in this moment. And this new program we would like to give you as a present. We were actually planned to give it for Christmas to everyone, but we couldn't hold this deadline, therefore we didn't announce it before. But now we can announce it that in February, everyone who has the Healy shall get this program, Coherence, as a present, so that you can use it. And my recommendation is use it once a day for 2 weeks and see what happens. Use it once a day for 2 weeks. And we have a little, very humble request that if you start using it, we will supply you, if you agree to it, a survey where you answer a few questions regarding your present state of well-being. It will be handled absolutely anonymous, We have to guarantee this from our very strict data protection law. It will be taken care of. And after 2 weeks of application, you fill in a second questionnaire. Just a few questions, very intuitive questions, nothing too difficult. You spend a few minutes, but this means for us getting in the ideal case more than 100,000 of data, which we can use in this prospective observation trial to estimate the effect or understand the effect which this Healy program has. So this would be a milestone step for our research. And if you like, please reward us a little. I don't know if this is the right word. You can respond to this present in such a way. If you don't want, just use it for yourself. We of course respect this also, but the more of you who will do this little sacrifice of this few minutes, the better we can, the stronger will be the impact of the study. So that's something coming up soon. And two more things I would like to invite you to, because some of you, actually many of you, a few thousand, have participated on this 21st of December in a Global Consciousness Day. So we have another of this kind of events, because it was so much, it touched the people so much, this 1.5 hours. On the 27th of February, which is again an auspicious day, it's a full moon, a very special full moon. We have a Worlds of Consciousness conference, one in the morning for Asia and one in the evening for Europe and the United States. And we have again gathered a quite amazing group of, let me share if I can see if I can share it with you. Just a moment. Here we are. Yes, here we are. Can you see this, Frank? Is it visible?
Yes, Marcus. See.
Okay, finally, this is the third attempt. We tried it for Asia, we tried it for Europe, didn't work. It works for our evening guests. Worlds of Consciousness on the 27th of February is an auspicious Saturday morning and evening. And you are all invited to an amazing program of leading scientists and spiritual leaders, which ends again in a collective common meditation. In the evenings, done by a yoga teacher from New York City. It's Eddie Stern. He's a personal friend and an amazing researcher also. He's contributing to the yoga and neuroscience research. And in the morning, we have Satchidananda Swami, who many of you already know. He's a monk and he publishes a beautiful book on meditation. But we have lots of, as you can see in this program, you see the website where you can register for the program, but it's also in the chat. And on top of that, after this program in April, I'm starting a university certificate course on quantum physics and consciousness. And I would like to invite those of you who have an academic background. Doesn't matter if it is medical or if it is physics or philosophy or psychology. It's a transdisciplinary academic certificate course seminar, which we do partnering with the university. So you are invited to this, and there's an email also in the chat. It's called contact@ecr-ins.com. Just look it up in the chat. So if you feel like to participate, just apply for registration at this email of our institute. So I'm looking forward to these two events. This is a short event, but the certificate seminar is each Friday for 3 months from April to June. It will be also a book published on this. So this is a scientific seminar. Yeah, I'm actually very inspired to share all the things with you. and see many of you on these occasions. Otherwise, I'm again like to say I'm so optimistic for 2021, which has already started, and lots of news coming still in the in this webinar. Especially, I think the last part where Frank again will share a little surprises with everyone will be very important. So please stay with us. I will also stay and watch everything. Yeah, I would like to continue talking, but I would like to hand the microphone over to Christian to share his very practical vision for the year 2021 with us.
Well, thank you very much, Marcus, for joining us today. And it's always a pleasure to listen to you. And we could actually continue for a few more hours. So I think nobody would mind. So thank you very much, Marcus Schmieke, founder of Healy World. And let's jump to our other founder who is on the call today with us. So also, again, welcome to Christian Halper. Hi, Christian. Thank you for being with us.
Hi, Frank. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Welcome to all the listeners and viewers also from my side.
Thank you very much, Christian. You know, when Marcus talks about all the background and all the science behind it and so forth, you know, I know that some specific aspects are also very important to you. Also, you know, when we look at not only, we're always talking from Healy World about our three pillars, about frequencies for life, nutrition for life, and mobility for life. And we have certain kind of applications for each and every aspect. And I know you're vegan and you're very much into promoting also a healthy lifestyle through nutrition. But on the other hand, also, you know, giving people or empower people with a product or like a Healy, for example, to do something for themselves, to take a little bit of power back of doing something good for all of us out here. So maybe you wanna share a little bit about your thoughts in that direction.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah. Well, if you look at what we already achieved as humanity in terms of how old we become, how what's the average age of people in the Western world, it's amazing. And at the same time, I think that the next step forward is that we take more responsibility of our own well-being, of our own health, to not only delegate this topic to doctors or other people, but also to take your own health in your own hands. And as you already mentioned, I believe nutrition and food is a very important part of it. And there are lots of studies on that also, movies like Game Changer or Forks Over Knives. So there's many evidence that our food is an important part of our health. And of course, motion, exercises with the body is very important. Like the saying, use it or lose it. So we have to do something with our body and use the abilities we have so that it remains and it even strengthens. And of course, help with the Healy and with the right frequencies to stay balanced, to stay relaxed, to stay energized, and to stay healthy also. And I believe this is a very good strategy. For example, if you have a car, most of us have a car, and we know how to take care of a car, right? So what's a bad strategy of taking care of a car? Well, you don't go to any service and wait until something really breaks, like you have a flat tire or the engine is not working anymore, something that really stops you from using the car, and then you go to a repair. This is a very bad strategy. And if you don't look at your car from time to time and are not sensitive, then things might happen more likely than not. And a good strategy might be that you take care of a car, go to a yearly service, and if there is a lamp going on or unusual sound, you go to the doctor, so to speak. You go to the car doctor, to a place where they can check your car and fix it. And the same is true for our body. If we take care of our well-being and health every day, then the chances that something bad happens, I believe, is definitely lower than if you don't take care about how your body is nurtured and exercised and supplied with frequencies. So it's a good way of leading your life, taking responsibility consciously of your own health. And with the help of Healy, it should be much easier than without. At least that's my experience, and that's what I also hear from many people. And as Marco already mentioned, there is a lot of research that is being done right now in the world, and also through Marcus and through Healy company. And at the same time, I believe it is really, really important when we go one step forward that we have at the same time another foot on the ground, on the floor, which is the studies that we do. So I believe it's a very important part of our strategy that we do both. We go forward, but we also solidify the ground where we're standing on by doing studies and showing the results of the different programs and how Healy is working. And last but not least, one important aspect, of course, is the business side of Healy. So we consciously decided that the Healy should be marketed through a direct sales network because it's the perfect product for it. It's unique in this area. And when people use the product over a short period of time, many people, more than 50%, feel the positive effect immediately. And the recommendation rate is really, really high. So that's the perfect setup for network marketing. So what you have here right now at this time, where many people are more health conscious than ever before, is a huge opportunity to expand this unique technology and grow together with this unicorn that the whole Healy and Healy network is. And I'm really happy that and thankful that we already together achieved so much. And we are still, after 2 years, a small child, so to speak. So there are many steps to go. And I'm positively and happily looking forward that we go together in the future with all the possibilities. And thank you very much for participating on this journey.
Well, thank you very much, Christian, for being with us today and sharing a little bit your vision and your thoughts. And I can only say, a vision or when we are on that way to a unicorn company or whatever you want to call that, an opportunity like this where nobody has ever done this before. We are not another supplement company who is doing something similar than somebody else. This is a brand new field, a brand new area. We're the forefront here, and we just need to remind ourselves sometimes that we're only 2 years old. I know this is not an excuse for everything, but I have to say, by building this kind of business and by building the science and everything behind our product, and in the next few years, we will always be the first one who has done that. And it's not so easy to create all this versus to be a copy of a copy of a copy, or supplement everybody else using as well, or whatever it is. So I think, and all of you who have been with us a year, half a year, 9 months, 3 months, 2 days, have realized what opportunity we have here. And so I think we're on a great way. We have something very unique in our hands, and that brings me actually a little bit to the next speaker, because we have, of course, our current technology, but also, as I said earlier in the introduction, technology is changing so fast, it's progressing so fast, gives us more possibilities. And I'm very happy that Martin Wittmann, our Chief Product Officer, is on the call with us today to give you a little glimpse into the very near future, what is going to happen. So Martin Wittmann, hi there. Hi, Martin.
Hello.
Good to see you. Let me make you a little bigger. There you go. Thank you for being with us today as well. As I said, share with us a little bit the very close future of Healy World and what is going to happen.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to actually introduce the first time our new product. But before I do that, please let me just elaborate on what Markus said, because as you heard, we want to give everyone for free the coherence program, which we newly created. And of course, this might take, or this is a huge load on the server. So actually it takes a few weeks until it's all distributed to everyone. But that's no issue, because you will get a newsletter or a message when you get the program and it's actually on your device. So just look out for this message and then open your Healy app and check for an update. And with this newsletter or with this message, we will also send you a small consent, basically, as also Markus said, that if you want to participate in the study we are doing, so our prospective study on this program, so which is our humble hope that everyone or as many as possible will participate. So you have just to agree that we are able to send you this survey. So this is just from a data protection point. We need your consent that you want to participate, and then you will get the survey, the program, the survey, and of course after 14 days the second survey, where you can tell us what exactly is the difference after you use the program. So we are really keen on knowing that. And we are currently doing the same for our new product. And this is the Healy coil. So here it goes. So what is the Healy coil? As you see on this picture, already there's something which we add to the Healy. So it's an accessory, something additional. And that's how it looks like. So as you can see, the golden cylinders go into your Healy, so where normally the cables go. And then the Healy coil is connected to your Healy. So what is actually happening? So I will start to tell you what is happening in your Healy with electrodes. So their frequency is modulated on a microcurrent, and this is applied to the body through electrodes. So basically, your body gets a physical impact of electrical energy and also of frequency, and also, of course, the information behind the frequency, because every number, every frequency has an information, and this information then basically is incorporated into your body through the microcurrent. And of course, you can also create the frequency in different manners. And here, the Healy coil is actually a coil. So what is happening through the cylinders, basically, also current is flowing, but not through your body, but now through the Healy coil. And what is happening? The Healy coil actually are two coils. So there's one coil on the front side and one coil on the back side, which you can see. And there's the same current that usually goes through your body is flowing through that coil. Also with the same frequency, of course, which is modulated on this current. And of course, as Markus already said, it's analyzed for you, basically, by the Healy. And then what is left, of course, is two magnetic fields from the Healy coil, one magnetic field from the one coil, one from the other coil, and then they they interact with each other. But those details will come later, because this is just a brief introduction to our new product. And then this information is basically then transmitted through this field that's created into your field again. So this is basically something that is in the beginning quite hard to understand for people. So what's now the difference between Healy and Healy coil? What does Healy do with electrodes? What does the Healy coil do? So the difference is quite easy. So you have a microcurrent flowing through the body. So you have the effects of the microcurrent and the energy which is flowing, of course, because of the current, and the frequency that's modulated. When you have a magnetic field, because of course two magnetic fields, there's the magnetic thing, so magnetic involvement with your body, and of course the information involvement. So the information is transferred in the same, or not in the same, but in a different way. And there, as you already see or hear, it's getting a little difficult. So what the actual effects are can't be compared. So it's just a different level of transporting the same information. So let's go on a little. So that's how it actually looks like when both are combined. So you can easily slide the Healy coil on the back of your Healy below the clip. And on the other side, you will just see the front side of the Healy coil, which you can easily pull out. And yeah, that's about it. So why did we invent something like that? Of course, as usual, cables are a little distracting. So why did Apple invent the earpods without cables but Bluetooth? Yeah, for a simple reason, because every time you take your earphones and try to put them into your ears and connect them to your phone, the cable is always entangled. So I never experienced it that I took the cable and then I could plug it in and everything was set. So it's always entangled. And the same, of course, happens when you're on the run. So usually the best is, of course, if you use your Healy in peace, you sit there, you relax and just enjoy the frequencies going through your body, the microcurrent, just giving your body something, some new information that it can actually use for changing something in the body. Now, of course, in times we are living, most people are sitting at home and traveling is not so common anymore, or yeah. Most people that traveled do less traveling. But of course, when you travel and you are late for an appointment and so on, but you still want to use the Healy, then yeah, how to do it with electrodes? It's always with the cables, it's a hassle. So now you can actually use the Healy coil, simply attach it and go on the run, go for it, go out, run, do something with your hands, which involves a lot of movement. So there you still have the frequency information. And of course, that makes it not only much more convenient, but also it's also a hassle for the body if you put in too much microcurrent. So if you want to do a lot of programs at one day, so you say, okay, this program is also good. I have good experience with this program. I want to do this and that and that. And of course, if you always getting lots of microcurrent through your body, that might overwhelm your system at one point. But now with the Healy coil, you of course can do an additional program and just on the information level. And that of course is also a benefit that makes it easier to use as much Healy programs as you like. And of course, we also have not only created this product and designed it and did all the printing, but we already have the final packaging. So, and it's already produced and in the middle of production. So I have one of the first final versions here. And as you can see, the coil in the light, how it actually looks like. And it easily goes together with your Healy. So you basically simply slide it under your clip, and that's it. A few seconds and you're ready to go. And yeah, so what's the challenge? The challenge is to actually get all the feedback from the field, not only for the product advisory board, but also from the field, how they use the Healy coil, how is their experience, and how can it be used in the best way. So that's what we are working on right now, that we can give you basically the perfect explanation or the perfect way of using it or explaining it to your customers or other members, what can be done and how should it be done. And of course, also after production, we need to ship it in the whole world to make it available worldwide, because we want a worldwide launch of this product. And as you know, in recent times, it's quite difficult to ship something. So it might take what took in the past of 2 weeks, maybe it takes now 4 to 5 weeks, and then you never know what happens. So we want to make sure that everything is in place, that if you have the opportunity to buy the product, you actually get it right away or as fast as possible as it is, depending where you live. So that's basically something that will come quite soon, hopefully. But of course, only as soon as it makes sense for you to actually be able to share everything around the Healy coil.
Thank you very much, Martin. And I just want to add, you have sold, you're sold, I'm sold. For me, it will be much easier to use the Healy without the cables. But there are also a lot of people out there who really enjoy feeling the microcurrent. You will not have that sensation, and but the good thing is you can do both. You can do one session with the Healy coil when you're not in a situation where you want to wear the cables, or in the evening when you're home and laying on the couch and be a little bit more conscious when you do an application. You can use the cables. So it's a great addition to the Healy itself. But as you said, Martin, we have finished studies with our practitioners. We're going into the field tests with a broader range of members. And this was also always a wish that we had, of course, included the field, used the feedback of the field, incorporate that in materials, in trainings, in everything to explain what the product really does, how it works, how it is in comparison to microcurrent technology or to the magnetic field technology. So we're doing all this. So that's why we're not telling you it comes on a specific date. I think we're not very far away, but we will let you know as soon as it's ready and shipped and in the hubs and ready to really be sold. So thank you, Martin, for taking also Marcus's ideas and putting them into a final product with the packaging around it and usable for all of our members. So thank you, Martin. Okay, so this brings me to our next speaker, and a lot of the improvements you have already seen around the world is because of him. He has, in the last couple of months, made such a big impact in our field of operations and logistics and whatever it is included in there. So please welcome our Chief Operating Officer with some updates in that area. So hi, Steven van der Veen. Hi, Steven.
Thank you so much, Frank. Can you hear me? Great.
Yes, perfect.
So good morning to all of you. Actually, from this tiny country in Europe called the Netherlands. And as you've just heard from Marcus, the epicenter of frequency therapy research. So I'm a bit proud of that, I must say, I must admit. But I'm even much more proud, of you, our members, of making the vision of Marcus and Christian come alive so successfully in the USA. It's really great to see what is going on over there. And I need to give you a big thank you also for your patience with us. I can tell you it has been worth the wait, and I'll show you why. I'll share with you a progress that we've been able to make, on operations and how we move forward. And when I talk about operations, I talk about customer services, global supply chain, production, business development, and the country teams or the regional teams itself as well. So let me cover that, in the next slide. Maybe you could help me out, Frank, if you have it. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. So let's first start off with the back orders. We are now in let's call it a fantastic situation that we've completely cleared out globally the back orders. So as you can see here, EU, US, that was already cleared out in November. And then APEC was cleared out in December. And we've just cleared out India as well. India was quite a challenge from regulatory, from a Corona point of view. Like with Singapore, we had to switch to an external third party to ensure that we could optimize the professional standards that we needed to have, for further growth in Asia Pacific and in India specifically. So we've got a new partner Gebrüder Weiss in Singapore. That's an Austrian company, and that company for logistics we will continue to use throughout the world, or partners of them like we have in India as well. The good thing is we can also increase handling capacity. So whenever we get a bulk of orders, we've got more flexibility than we used to have by having logistics in-house. And they have so much expertise in customs that they help us out very well in dealing with those challenges that sometimes might occur. Concerning back orders moving forward, the only back orders that we're clearing out in the next 1 or 2 weeks will be cables and clips. And then also the new wristbands that you've been waiting for. We'll commence with that, and we want to clear that out within the next 2 to 3 weeks. As I said, also we've ramped up production capacity, but also planning. So we want to make sure, and also for whatever comes, kind of future activity, on in the area of sales, that our hubs are loaded and that we can deliver immediately. It might take sometimes, when we've got a huge amount of orders coming in, it might take some time to fulfill those, but at least we've got the product on the ground, and we will do our utmost to ship it out ASAP to your address. We will further improve or look at improvements that we can make on delivery. For example, a lower delivery time that we could do by, for example, when volume allows, to have more warehouses throughout the US, tracking your order more appropriately. All those elements, we're working on together with Jake and his team, and the team also in Germany. Then the next thing that you had to be very patient with us were the backlog of tickets. I can tell you that within the next 2 weeks, we've cleared out VIP tickets fully globally, also in the US, and that all the remaining tickets that are customer service only, so that we don't need, other departments for, we're really working on clearing that out in February. It also depends, on how many of tickets we get in the month of February itself. So we're shooting, for the end of February. We might have some spillover to March. Please bear with us. When we started this whole process about mid-September, we were almost 6 months behind. And when you see, how we've been able to clear this out, it's an amazing job. And how have we done that? We use an external sales center service center as well, CDS. We've increased those from 20 to 40 heads as of the middle of October. Then we've increased, and we're still increasing our customer services team by a factor 1.5, a 50% increase throughout the next couple of months, and we've already taken on board a couple of them. So those are around 20 additional heads worldwide that we're adding to the team. And then we've got a special task force. And the good thing about this is here the knife cuts at both sides, because we've got an event team that is not able to organize any events, live events, as you know it. But they are very technical, and they are helping us out now with an improved Q&A, and with a lot of support, by the way, of the US leaders that are very tech savvy and have made videos. Those videos have been auto-scripted. We take out those Q&As, we add them to the global Q&A that we have. So with a full Q&A, this team now has already been able to clear out over the last 2 weeks, you won't believe it, but 1/3 of all the global tech support tickets, together with our tech support team in the US. And we're also in Europe, and we're also building a tech support team in the US. 3 have already been trained, and we will continue in that area as well for the US specifically. So 1/3 has been cleared out of tech support tickets, and most of it we want to clear out by the end of next month, by the end of February, also in this area. And then we need to define, okay, how can we further service you in a better way through customer services. Like I said, there's self-help Q&As that we want to improve. Also together with Gavin Adey, that we'll also have a session in this Frequency Friday presentation on Academy. We're working on trainer sessions, modules on technical issues as well. We'll leverage all the experience that there is with the US leaders much better. So I'm talking about, Doc Steve, Kevin, Klaus, Freddie. There's a lot of experience with them, and I haven't mentioned them all. So this is what we're going to be focusing on together with Jake and Anna and the team. So that's about customer services and the backlog. Then building the team. In the US, we're building a team not only specifically for the US, but also for the Americas. As you know, this last month, we've opened a new office in Orlando. Jake has done that, our new head of operations. And he's recruiting a lot of customer services staff members to join our team as well, but also somebody for business development. So opening up countries throughout the Americas will be seated in there. A logistics manager has just joined, and a general manager will join shortly as well for the whole of the Americas. So that is the US. For those who are doing business in Asia Pacific, you might know that we've had major changes within the team. We've recruited close to 15 people now over there in a short period of time. We're talking about 2 months. Normally that takes about 6 to 12 months. So an amazing job done over there. And I'm specifically proud, of these new teamers to join us also in the US. There is not a 9 to 5 mentality. There is a 7-11 mentality. They work double shifts. They're highly committed, highly engaged. It's really what they're doing, is fabulous. I haven't seen, such commitment ever, to be honest. And it's all because they want to be part of this vision, want to make sure that it comes alive by taking away roadblocks and by servicing on the needs that you have and that you have expressed to us. And please do continue to express those to us, and we'll work with it. Also, what we've changed is a much more professional and holistic approach to country openings. That is what we call go wide. So more countries to open, also in the Americas in the upcoming years. What we do now, because actually all the functions are involved in there. It's not just the licensing for the product, for the MLM license that you need to have, or the entity that you need to set up, but so much work behind the scenes is done from an IT, from a product point of view, marketing, sales, that we've all combined it now into one big team. And we are very committed, within C-level teams, so top management, that every time that we come together, we go in detail, through this list to make sure that we don't miss out anything, and that whenever we open up a country, that all showstoppers are taken away, and that we are very well prepared to leverage on the huge potential that we have in those countries. So that is go wide, but we also want to go deep. We've opened many countries, 40 plus countries over the last couple of years. That is already, a tremendous job. But what we also see is in some of those countries, we're scratching the surface, and there's so much more potential. So what we're trying to understand, which members, which leaders currently are working with great best practices, for which we have the opportunity to leverage that, to share that globally as well. And just a couple of days ago, Gavin Adey and Pratik Gupta from business development and myself have been on a call with Terry Perez, where she shared, so many stuff that she has developed throughout the years, and that she's willing, to share with all of you and also globally. So more to come from that, but we're searching, for more and more and more, and we're implementing that in modules, in webinars, and in the academy itself as well. We just want to make sure that we, kind of create this flywheel where we can generate so much velocity, and an increased, speed of that and of growth. So the sooner, we reach the vision of Marcus and of Christian, which is 100 million devices, Healy devices worldwide. And I'm definitely sure, we can do that, and I'd much rather do it sooner than later. So thank you so much, for sharing all your best practices. And thanks also for your patience once again with us whilst we're building this amazing company bigger and better. Cheers. Back to you, Frank. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Stephen, for one, your update, and second, for all the improvements we have made on all those different levels. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. Okay, so last but not least, we have one speaker left, and then we come to the surprises. Sorry, Gavin, I feel with you, it's always not the easiest spot to be the last in the row to speak, but save the good for last, right? So we'll Gavin, head of Academy, and just share with us what you have done. You're on silent, Gavin.
Always helps when always. So is that now working, Frank? Can you hear me?
Yes, now
perfect. If you can start the slideshow, because they've seen enough of my face already. So good morning, good lunchtime, good afternoon, and maybe if you're coming in on a late shift because you might not be from the USA, good evening to you as well. So I'm going to take you through the coming slides. What a call. What a call. The energy, the amount of work and the amount of progress made even since the last Frequency Friday and even in the last couple of weeks has been phenomenal. So it's an absolute pleasure to be on the call with you, and I'm going to take you through some of the progress we've been making in the Healy World Academy as well. So I've done a lot of this with Team USA before, because I come onto your Wednesday call. So most of you should know me by now, so I'll very, very, very quickly touch on that. But I'm going to talk and recap on the Academy goal and vision, because that is updated for all of you to see and to hear. And I want to elaborate on one area of it particularly. I want to just talk about some more of the content will come. And then we'll give you a little sneak preview of what to expect. And I'm going to say nothing more than that. So I expect the vast majority of you by now know who I am and my background, and I've had 13 years in the direct selling industry and absolutely love people, events, L&D, and absolutely love the people more, even more than the role, because the most important thing is you guys, and it's people. Whatever we do, whenever we're in teams, it isn't the company or the thing, it's how we all come together to work with what we are working with. And if you look at our business, we've got a superb, technologically breakthrough, revolutionary product in the Healy. Before we talk about anything else, we also have incredibly motivated, switched on, passionate leaders in this business. And I love the collaborative style, because since I've joined at the end of November, I've never actually been in a business where all of the leaders have just come with what they already have to put in the pot without normally asking for it to be withheld from people or whatever. There's a really great collaborative style going on here. And the other thing that I'd say is that we as a company, we're always going to be behind you. First couple of years, you guys took the product, you ran with it. And then in the case of launches, you sprinted with it and you got further away from the company. So the company has been catching you up. You can see that we've got some decent running shoes on in many areas now. And actually, the one area where we'll always be ahead of you is going to be in terms of the incredible product development that Martin translates the visions of Marcus and Christian and the conversations they have. And Martin and that team commercialize it into something that is wearable, usable. And yet again, I've never been in a business where every launch that we do is revolutionary, and it really is exciting. But we can't do this without you guys, because without you, we wouldn't have a business. We really wouldn't. But without us as the corporate side of things, you guys wouldn't have the concepts. You wouldn't have had Marcus and Christian's vision translated into the amazing product, and then having the support and making sure that we get you paid and making sure that we get you the products. So we have an incredibly symbiotic relationship, but we've also got this relationship in the context of an amazing opportunity. we are unique in our field. And I don't think sometimes I kick myself at how unique we are, because I've never had the pleasure of working in something that is such an opportunity as we have here. So to recap, the Academy goal to deliver and provide world-class education, training and learning to all Healy World members worldwide. So you are always learning and improving personally and professionally. We'll touch on that all later. How are we going to achieve this vision? We said when I've been presenting this, we're going to build a library of content. We're going to really make the training and education become part of being a Healy World member, in your blood, in your culture. And it's also actually going to be in the culture of our business as we evolve too, because it's not just you as Healy World members that are going to grow and develop. It's going to be us as a group and a team working together behind the scenes to support you guys as well. So it's a lifelong process, learning and educating. It never stops. I get wiser with every year I live on this planet, but still I probably don't know a millionth of the billionth of the things that are out there in the world. We're going to bring subjects to life with a mix of ways of learning, and we're going to develop that core of modules that I alluded to before, and the support materials that every Healy World member can go through with their sponsor or alone. And that's also going to be something for everybody, because we're not just aiming this at the initial new joiner. This is a lifelong journey, and we need to challenge all of you and make lots of different things available for you so that you can learn and have opportunities every single day as well, even if you've already been in the business. And these guys, I keep acknowledging them, because without them, we wouldn't have anything on the table for you. We really did start with a blank sheet of paper, and Frank pulled these guys together. And these are your leaders, and their combined knowledge and their combined expertise and their passion and the things that they brought to the table, I'm just incredibly, I think we should all be very grateful for, because it could take a lot longer to do what we're doing if they had decided just to act as individuals and not as one team. And I think the working spirit with Kevin and the marketing board has just been fantastic. And I'm sure they would all echo that if you asked them as well. While I've got you guys, Kevin does send his best regards. He and I had a fight over who would take this one speaker slot for the marketing section. And so he graciously stepped down and let me take this, because we wanted to give you the here and now information immediately. So he sends his best wishes, and he'll be joining you on the next Frequency Friday. So the Academy vision. This is the one slide that I'll spend the longest on. And it's a very simple framework, but it's also very effective, and it has an awful lot of things going on inside it. None of you will have seen this before. We shared it in the group with the Academy board members the other day, and they gave it a thumbs up. So we bring it straight to you. We don't have hidden agendas. We share everything that's been pre-approved, and that we work together. If you look at the foundations of this sort of funny-looking pillar, house with 3 pillars and a roof, you've got the Healy World culture. And the culture is actually, the culture started out with Marcus and Christian. And then they set up the business. Then they actually saw what they wanted to do and how they wanted to see the business acting. Then they set up and hired people, hired a CEO, hired operations people, got Martin involved with all of his knowledge, et cetera, and his existing relationship with them. But they built a team, and the team started to develop their culture. Then we started to work with our Healy World members. And Healy World members, you've got a very, you've grasped the product, you love the product, you've sprinted with it. You haven't just run with it, you've sprinted with it. And you guys are adding to this because you're living and breathing the culture. You are the ambassadors for the brand in front of everybody you ever see, day in, day out. That is it's your business, it's your independent business, and you guys are the ambassadors. How you behave is part of what the culture is that then forms. So what I love about our business now is we can blend those cultures together, and we will have an overall Healy culture. So we're going to do things the Healy way. The Healy way, for example, would be taking the high road. The Healy way would be doing things thoroughly and properly. The Healy way would be, if you saw someone that needed help on the street, you wouldn't walk past them, you'd stop and help them. These sound like silly little things, but believe me, when you behave in those ways and you behave positively all the time, you will radiate out, and you will get more and more goodwill, and you'll get more and more interest in what it is you're doing as well. So we took the 3 pillars, and the 3 pillars are the core of what we want to deliver over the coming days, weeks, and months. First one on the left-hand side, we've already got quite a lot of this in place because the product managers and the products, if we didn't have the demonstrations, how to use the products, how to set them up, how to install updates. If we didn't have that available already, we'd already be behind anyway. I mean, we'd be even further behind on this area. So there's lots of good material out there already. So it's not been the most urgent area to try and address first. And then also a little bit more about the science of Healy, because you can hear the way Marcus speaks, you can hear the way Christian speaks. And the thing I always think of is, how do you guys as Healy World members translate the vision and the knowledge of who are experts in their field? How do you translate that when you're speaking to a Healy World member or a prospective Healy World member or a new customer and say, you know what, if you met our visionary, he can talk about this and this and this. But you guys need to be able to relate it to them, because there aren't many people on Marcus's level in the world. You know, it's very simple. So that's where we're going to go with all of that. We're going to make the content improve, and we'll continue to improve it, and we'll continue to make sure that every time we launch, you have all the materials you need for launch. Healy World Operational in the middle is where we've really focused as a group on the business. So we're building a business opportunity module, which we're working on, and is at the moment is in checking. The map of the first 90 days. This is where I got 2 or 3 or 4 different sets of leaders that came to me with booklets and systems and gave me access to their back offices. Some of the leaders that you've seen on that group. My job is to try and blend it into lots of different small bite-sized pieces, but can be added together to give the map of the first 90 days, the 90-day planning process. If you're not familiar with that, it's quite simple. Split the year into 4 quarters of 90 days each. Give yourself 5 days off to celebrate each quarter. And basically, it's how fast you want to run it in that first 90 days at a time, because it's much easier to have 3-month goals than it is to try and achieve everything over the course of a year. Break it down into smaller pieces. Compensation plans being split into 2 sections, because a new Healy World member won't really understand the significance, the amount of work a senior president has had to do to get to that position in the business. Actually, if we can teach them the first 4 levels and just look at that and have a shorter term focus whilst knowing of all the other things, then that's probably a good way of starting, because after the first 4 ranks, really, you start becoming, it starts to get much more serious, and you're looking at moving to a full-time income and maybe replacing a full-time income too. Back office systems, you're all very familiar with. We need to make sure that everyone else is familiar with them, and we will do tours, and we'll make sure we do live demos, etc., and film them and make them easy so that everyone can see the potential of what they're being given, because we give a lot. We just don't know how to promote it all the time. Customer focus is not about the company focusing on you as Healy World members. It's about you, the Healy World member, focusing on your customers. It's about the life value of a customer. A customer isn't just someone that you make a sale to. A customer is a friend for life if you treat them well, if you show them love and respect and attention, and you make sure they're happy, because those guys will either choose to join the business one day, they'll either be great advocates for your business and your brand, and even better, they might actually get you loads of referrals without you having to even leave the comfort of your own home, just because looking after them. So we're going to talk much more about that and all the little things that make a big difference. Customer support is as it suggests. We're working with Murat and the team. We're going to be looking at the most important time-saving customer support tips that we can give to you guys to pass on to your teams, or your teams can see. So how to raise a ticket, how it works, what's the best way to do this, have you looked at FAQs, that's where this is. So we're really going to try and hold everybody's hands there. And then underpinning this all is ethics and compliance. Although a lot of people worry about compliance or worry about ethics as a department, actually, I said earlier, it's like having your own security guard. They are there to look out for you. They are there to make sure your brand and your business is not attacked. And that means we work to educate people if they've made genuine mistakes. They might have said something or made a claim or whatever. It's educating and correcting. And really making sure that all our Healy World members take the high road. Really important to how we go forward, and probably doubly important to us because our markets are so regulated and there are so many people that want us to trip up in the outside world. People don't want us to be successful, but we as a business, and with what we have and what you have, you're going to be a success anyway, but we just want to do it the right way. Final pillar, my favorite, is learning and development, because it's all about you. It's all about you. Mindset training, goal setting, leadership skills. We're going to do a series of masterclasses with the leaders And I've asked the leaders to pick their favorite passions and subjects and go away and build a training module themselves. So we're going to start this concept of masterclasses from inside the business. So they're going to teach you how they made it to where they've made it in our business. And you'll get lots of different flavors and different topics from that. Business and spiritual gurus is another really important area, because if you think about Healy, I don't know, compare it to other well-known network marketing businesses that have much bigger turnovers. There's a lot of hype and a lot of noise, a lot less spirituality, I would say, and a lot less friendly on the inside. It's, you know, we're very holistic in our business. We have this spiritual edge, but we also have this business edge. That is, to me, it's one of our unique selling points. We really have room for both. And for that reason, we don't just want one kind of business guru. We want a spiritual kind of guru as well. So we will look at the appropriate people for the appropriate areas, and we'll get them to work with us however that may appear. Don't want to spoil everything, but it's something that the leaders got excited about, and I've been getting sent all sorts of great ideas from the guys behind the scenes as well. Communication skills, it's a great one. You never stop learning how to communicate, whether you learn how to read body language, whether you learn how to read what it means when someone scratches their nose or whatever it is, and as well as how to write a good piece, or how to write, or how to deal with complaints, or whatever it is. We will work on all of those areas, and we'll develop the modules as we go. And then to wrap it all up, train the trainer. Most good businesses that are really focused on training and this train the trainer is where the leaders will teach the next generation of leaders on how to teach the next generation of leaders. That's called building legacy. So there's loads of things that we need to do there. We need to teach people how to get to the first 90 days. We need to teach people what's what. We need to give them the backgrounds and the information, a lot of the operational side, with a little bit of pillar 1 and pillar 3 as well. So that covers the vision, the good news, and I'm excited about this. And it is the USA where we start with anyway. On the other calls, I've said, sorry guys, because you're not in the US, then this isn't applicable to you. But I'm tell them what we're doing. We're hoping to launch next week. I'm one legal review off having the final amends to send back to our brilliant marketing team who have pulled these things together that you're going to see in a moment. And these are the modules. You can all read them for yourselves. These are the modules that we're aiming to launch. And of course, as soon as we've launched the compensation plan, we'll probably have a new compensation plan within 2 months' time, and we'll be working on the new versions of that, etc., etc. So it's going to be a continuous work of art. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint, and it really is just the beginning of what is going to be a fantastic journey for all of us. So it's really, really, really exciting. And we're just going to be starting off from that. This is a little flavor of what the new modules are going to look like. Those of you that are familiar with the old modules, the ones that exist at the moment, you'll see that we're going for something that is whiter, fresher, cleaner. It's very easy to read. It doesn't feel like training. That's how I look at it. It's just very easy to look at. These are just drafts. These are not the finished items. So please don't circulate or take screenshots of this, as Frank said at the beginning. But it's just a flavor to see how we're going to develop. And by the way, we've only had 2 months with holidays and things as well on top to get all of this turned around. So the content is static to start with, i.e. we're not bringing in videos, we're not bringing in multimedia presentations at this stage, but just watch as we grow and we develop on this journey. It will become more and more interesting and exciting too. So we always start with the US because if we can meet the regulatory requirements, and we can work to the US market standards and expectations from all the compliance and legal boards over in your neck of the woods, then we've already gone a long way down to being compliant in all the other countries in the world that we operate in. So we will always take the US as the first launch of something. We will then translate into English from US English, and then we'll translate into the next EU languages. And then we'll also start with the 5 most significant Asia-Pacific languages as quickly as we can as well. So if you've got business in Asia-Pacific and they're saying, why haven't we got this yet? Because honestly, it's the single, my next focus is to hire an Asia-Pacific Academy manager. So we've got someone on the ground, because that the region of Asia Pacific is like 5 continents in one continent, almost, with the complexities there as well. So we're complementing and working with Stefan's team to try and find the right people. And I've got to say that the team out there have been brilliant and really supportive and helping us with their local market knowledge and advice too. We'll keep working with the marketing advisory boards. There's loads of other things that we're doing. And as to remind you, we're just getting started. So thank you very much for listening. This is just the beginning of the journey. And I wish you all a fantastic day ahead and a fantastic weekend ahead. And Frank, back over to you in the studio, as I always say.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Yeah, back to the studio, and really thank you. You know, the Academy is such an important pillar for everyone. We have to think down to the last member coming into the business, maybe not having any background in network marketing, not have any background to speak even about frequency and how the product works. So I think you're doing a tremendous job. Looking forward to see more, and enjoy your weekend, Kevin. Thank you very much for being on the call today. Okay, so before we come to the promised surprises at the end of the call, I have one more job to do, and it's not a job, it's more a pleasure, because this is one of the very great things about my job. Then I can recognize people for things they have done and achieved by themselves and for themselves. So I want to come to our recognitions for today. Because we have some new directors and above, I want to recognize today, at least at this point in time here online. But of course, all our director and above recognitions usually take place in our at our Healy Around the World conference. But of course, we want to share those new directors and above with you. And the first one, I actually just talked last week when I was in the US on the phone when she was on the road. And I want to actually take the time to say thank you for achieving the director position. Thank you for making Australia our #2 market, or bringing it to the size it is today. So thank you for everything you have done, and congratulations to achieving the title of director in Healy World. Congratulations to Rachel Lee Mutton, and I really want to say best regards to Down Under for everything you have done, and I hope you can at least celebrate a little bit this achievement, and congratulations here from this point. The next director we're honoring here, we're recognizing, is also from Australia. You know, there is a reason why Australia is, of course, our second biggest market in the world. We have great leadership, not only in Australia, but as you could see in the last title advancements, we had quite a few people always from Australia with us here in that recognition area. And the next one I want to recognize is, as I said, from Australia as well. And so I want to give a great compliment to our next new Healy World director. Congratulations to Brendan Westcott from Australia. Thank you for everything, Brendan. I hope and I know we will see another more great things from you, and improving in the director and higher ranks. So I hope you can enjoy and celebrate. So congratulations from this end for achieving the title of director in Healy World. So that brings me to our next level, to our level of senior directors. And you know, when I talk about her, she is not only a lovely lady and a great leader. She's from the United States. She is actually she's the fastest director we ever had in Healy World. She qualified when we opened the US in May 2020 within 1 month from 0 to director. And now she has progressed to the title of senior director. So please give a big round of applause. And also from my side, congratulations for achieving the title of senior director in Healy World. Congratulations to Sarah Rodriguez. So from here, Sarah, congratulations for your hard work, your dedication, your leadership, and everything you have done for Healy and for your team. So congratulations again from this point to Sarah. So, well, this brings me back to the promised surprise, and here it is, because here, as I promised, actually we have two surprises. So, you know, when we look back at the year 2020 and even further, which 2019 was not a year for the US, but later, we want to also say thank you. You know, thank you for your effort you have made in all those months in the US, for the success you had made the US market. That's why we created this promotion for you, and especially also to balance let's say the challenges we had, the delivery delays and all that kind of things you had encountered in that time. So that's why we created our Pioneer promotion. This is for our pioneers who have enrolled with Healy World in the years 2019 and 2020. And the promotion will start on February 1st, so the upcoming Monday, and will end at March the 2nd. It will go from midnight to midnight Central European time. And basically, it's the easiest way to wrap up the promotion is it is based on our existing Fast Start promotion as you know it. We just want to give you another 30 days where you can earn upgrades and cash bonus and earn a free device. But because your original Fast Start time is like embedded in your Healy DNA, so we're not going to change that, because this will be part of your historical data. So we will give you another 30 days where you can earn all these benefits attached to the Fast Start. So it will work exactly the same. But if you might remember, when you look at the Fast Start as it is, if you have a resonance, for example, yourself, and you sign in 3 more members, you will earn another resonance device. And then this is the limit. You can earn 1 free resonance device. So in this promotion, we said, okay, you can earn everything which is below, but if you sign up 3 new customers or members and with an edition sold, when you on resonance yourself, you will get 1 Healy Holistic Health for free. If you sign in 3 more members, so in total 6 in this case, and 2 customers or member with an edition sold, you will get a second Healy with the Healy edition, Healy Holistic Health Plus. And if you sign up in total 9, so 3 by 3 by 3, you will get a third Healy with the Resonance edition on it. So in total, you can earn 3 free devices, which we always recommend use them as a support for your business, for building your business, use them for sampling, let people try the device. So it's an investment in your business, in building your business. Of course, this is your own device. So all the Fast Starts you're earning are in the future your own devices. You can do as you wish with them. Difficult 2 words for me. But as I said, always, you know, if you give it away, it's gone. Use these 3 devices as an investment in your business. Use them for sampling to people to try out. But as I said, these are yours. So all rules of Fast Start, as stated on the flyer, and cash bonus, as stated on the Fast Start flyer, is applied. So the only exception really is that you can earn 3 devices instead of 1, and that the first one starts at Healy Holistic Health, and then the second and third goes up to maximum resonance. So this is, as I said, for all the members enrolled in 2019 and 2020. So everybody who enrolled January 1st up till today, they have the regular Fast Start as stated on the flyer. As these new members have not encountered all the the challenges of you before. And also, we want to say thank you for the last 9 months, and thank you for being the Healy pioneers of promoting Healy and the Healy opportunity around the world. So I hope you're excited about this 30 days challenge, let's put it that way. But there is more, because we want to really support you in building your business in February and above. So that's why we also added a second promotion going along with this first Pioneer promotion, and also to give those people who started after January 1st also something to build their business on in the next coming months. So we will do as a second promotion our Healy World Rate Upgrade promotion. For those of you who have been with us a little bit longer, you know that from the last one we did in November, December. Same thing, starts February 1st to March the 2nd from midnight to midnight Central European time. You have two possibilities. You can either buy a new, let's say, Healy Holistic Health at the price of a Healy Gold. So you always purchase the higher edition and you pay the lower edition one below. Or if you have an upgrade, for example, you buy an upgrade for an existing Healy you have. You can buy an upgrade from Healy Gold to Healy Holistic Health Plus at the price of a Healy Holistic Health. And there's also a special price, and this is around the world a little bit different depending on the currency and exchange of the base price. There's a special price attached if you upgrade from Healy Holistic Health Plus, which you might already have, to a Resonance Edition. So you will get this for a corrected, also special price in the shop. Go check out the shop and you will see what the price upgrade here is. It will work exactly the same. We will have no promotion codes necessary for all of you who order an upgrade or a new Healy. This promotion will automatically be applied, so we will not lose anybody along the way who has not heard about the promotion. So everybody who buys will automatically get this discount applied. Another important part to mention is there is no selling limit. So if you want to sell Healys, there is no limitation to that promotion. We have enough stock in the hubs of the US, as well as in Europe, as well as in Asia Pacific. As Stephen introduced earlier, we did our homework. We have enough stock in all the hubs. So I hope both of these promotions tied in together will give you an amazing February. Use all the information you heard today. Spread the word, spread Healy around the world. And I wish you good luck at the end of this webinar, and I hope to see you at one of the next webinars, Frequency Fridays, wherever is it in the world. And I wish you all the best. Good luck, lots of health, and stay happy and healthy. And I hope to see you, especially like that, again the next time. Take care, bye-bye, and have a great weekend.